And we're officially live. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome back to the 𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗬𝗦 community, and we're having an AMA session with PUMPLABS. And we have here with us today Bia from PUMPLABS. She's the CGO of the project. So, hi Bia, how's it going?
Hi, thank you so much for having me here. How's it going? Everything's going well. Happy to be here. Just a quick intro of myself. I'm Bea. I'm, as you mentioned, CGO at PUMPLABS. That means I'm kind of head of business development, partnerships, and growth. We're an on-chain market-making firm, and we're focused on building sustainable liquidity and optimized trading strategies and helping Web3 projects survive long after they launch. That's a good intro. I'll go into more details when you ask more questions, but for now,
All right, just give me a second. All right, so let's kick things off with the origin story. So, could you give us a brief overview on like the foundation of PUMPLABS and what like inspired the founding team to pursue this vision of becoming an innovative on-chain market maker, and what like gaps in the market are you guys like aiming to fill from the start?
Yeah, sure. So PUMPLABS was more or less born from frustration, honestly. Our team saw how many projects were launching with a lot of hype, but no real plans further down the line and no real market structure behind them. The liquidity was either an afterthought or completely mismanaged entirely by the team handling the project. And at the time, there were very few market makers out there. I think most of you probably know about the whole situation with 𝗚𝗛𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗖𝗛. And in general, market makers tend to be not transparent, opaque, off-chain, unlike us, and not aligned with the project's long-term health. So that's what led us to decide to build an on-chain first market maker that focuses on transparency, structure, sustainability. And the big thing is that we're not really focused on the short-term pumps. We want to help projects have that long-term survival. So in it for the long run.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, PUMPLABS is position itself as like a leader in providing advanced liquidity solutions, treasury management, and trading optimization as well. So, could you break down each of these core offerings for us? How do they like function in practice, and what way do they like direct support to growth sustainability of Web3 projects?
Yeah, I can. Okay, so absolutely. At the core, we help projects stay tradable, stable, and scalable. And the way we do that, you already mentioned three of the main ways. Liquidity solutions, firstly. We deploy and manage deep, efficient DEX liquidity, especially using concentrated liquidity, V3 and V4 style pools. And that means that we're able to get the projects to have smoother trades, tighter spreads, and just overall better confidence for the holders. The second thing you asked about was treasury management. We help teams plan how to use their token and treasury capital effectively, whether it's for getting ready for centralized exchange listings or other incentives or just operational runway. And the third point about trading optimization, I guess we do that through arbitrage, automated liquidity strategies, and a lot of real-time market analysis. So we make sure that the projects aren't just live, but that they're competitive in the way they're trading. So it really is like an end-to-end market support from launch day to long-term growth. As I mentioned earlier about the whole long-term idea. I hope that answers it. I can't give away too many details about how we do everything, but that's an overall idea.
All right, that's amazing. So, how does like Pumplab approach liquidity different than other traditional market makers or aggregators? What sets your project apart when it comes to like ensuring consistent and healthy market depths for your clients?
Yeah, as I said earlier, most market makers are still operating mostly off-chain and with an order book first mindset, whereas we call ourselves on-chain natives, and in my opinion, that changes everything because we specialize in DEX-based strategies, especially concentrated liquidity pools. Like I said, like Uniswap, V3, Aerodrome, Sonic. We don't just fill a book, we really do design the liquidity architectures that align with that specific project's goals. So we take a very individual approach to every single, for the needs and goals of each project we work with. So basically we design liquidity with precision. I mentioned tighter spreads, deeper books, smarter multi-chain deployment. And we're active across a lot of chains: Solana, Base, Sonic, Ethereum, and we do cross-chain liquidity routing and arbitrage to keep things as efficient as possible. So I guess that's what sets us apart.
All right, so from the technical perspective, are there like any proprietary smart contracts or internal tools that power like your infrastructure? We'd love to understand the innovations that drives your ability to optimize trading activity and manage assets flow.
Yeah, of course. Without giving too much away, the answer is yes. We have built our own proprietary infrastructure, bots, tools, trading logic, and you can actually see it working across multiple tokens on chain. Obviously, we don't publicize all of the details, but everything we do is traceable. You can see all our activity on chain as opposed to the market makers that only focus on off chain. We're not hiding anything, and while I can't disclose all the backend public key, we invite anyone to check the tokens we work with, and the results usually speak louder than anything I can say. Hello? Have I cut out or something?
I think my Telegram is glitching. Sorry. So
No.
let's talk about real world impact. So could you walk us through like a few examples or case studies of a project you've partnered with, and how like PumpLabs directly contributes to improving your market presence, stability, or trading performance as well?
Yeah. Okay. Two good examples. Firstly, Hey Anon, or just Anon, which you probably wouldn't be familiar with. Launched back in January. It's a really great example of a token that we managed to help stabilize even through major volatility. So we managed their migration to new chains, we optimized their V3 LPs, and we kept the token healthy post-launch, which you can see up until this day. If you look at the chart, it looks pretty good. And we've actually done lots of analysis and comparisons with it compared to other tokens, similar tokens, and it's doing the best out of that category. Second example that I can mention is Cerebro, a meme project, here over, I think, 850 million market cap. And we supported that by offering it sustainable market making and the treasury structuring on our side. We've also worked with lots of early stage meme tokens, DeFi protocols, and lots of the major ecosystem partners. And we always have a very structured approach to market health. I said earlier, tokens from Sonic, Base, Solana, we've helped stabilize prices, unlock cross-chain volume, and prep a lot of tokens for checks listings. That's another one of our services.
All right. So I'm just gonna ask my like last question because I'm kind of like in a hurry. So I think I might let Mitch here as continue the hosting. Sorry. So have you guys thought of like doing like a merchandise for your project? Because here in the Shawcross community, we also have a merchandise. We have a cup, we have a school bag, we have a T-shirt, we have both cup and probably bucket and all that. So, to represent our project and bring the word out there that they are actually
Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit on my end.
my Telegram's glitching. So could you just tell us if you guys have like merchandise for your project?
Yes, we did. We have. We were at Consensus back in February in Hong Kong, and we had an event there, and we had like stickers, hats, T-shirts, some lamps, and a bunch of other things with PUMPLABS on it. And actually, our biggest merchandise product there was we had our own Lambo, which you can see on our X page,
Yeah,
on
actually,
the page.
I
That
actually
was like
saw that.
the number plate, the hood of the car, everything was PUMPLABS. So that was pretty cool, merchandise wise. But we don't sell pump Lambos, unfortunately. It's a one-off, just a one-off. But that was pretty cool. But right now, we don't have it available to buy anyway, if that was the question. However, if anyone's going to be in Dubai for Token, you can find us there and our merch will be available.
All right, that's amazing. So I'm going to like let Mitch continue from here. So, Mitch, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, speaking on the market making philosophy and strategy, your project, Pump Lab, it emphasizes simplifying market making. If you could just walk us through how your strategy, differs from the traditional high frequency trading firms, or the bots and sexes and dexes.
Well, I think I kind of touched on it earlier, but firstly, we take a very personalized approach to projects. Secondly, we do a whole on-chain health analysis before we start working on projects. So we do a deep dive. We look at every kind of anything that can be flagged up, any metrics that aren't in order, anything that we can improve. So that's how it would be different from bots or the bigger guys, as you said. And other than that, I did cover some of the points. I don't know if you caught them earlier. Maybe I was breaking up or something. But I can go through them again. We have our own proprietary infrastructure and an amazing team of traders. So I guess that makes us different as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So, could you tell us more about, treasury designs, when you help projects, prepare for, their structural sustainability and long-term treasury? How do you guys do this? Create structures that support liquidity incentives, listing, and team development.
I mean, I can't tell you exactly how we do that because that's why we are able to do it. But if anyone's interested in optimizing their treasury or any kind of those things, we do offer private calls and like consultations and that kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, for sure. So, looking at the partnerships and the collaborations that you guys have in store for you, what kind of projects do you guys, look up to partner with, and what kind of projects do you guys look up to collaborate with, for the benefit of the project and basically getting more exposure and additional benefits?
I mean, the projects we work with, we work with projects from end to end, meme coins, protocols, DAOs, ecosystems, blockchains, layer ones, layer twos, anything. We're very open to working with anyone. And in terms of projects that aren't clients, so to say, I guess we work with marketing teams, we work with developers. Pretty much everyone in the space is a potential partnership.
Of course, of course. So, looking in the future plans, is there any way that you guys plan to, integrate some kind of like an automation or an AI into the whole project, into the liquidity strategies?
Right. Kind of. Actually, we're preparing to launch a public tool that will change the way that projects and communities can track on-chain market health. And that will bring a lot more transparency and smart execution into token trading and liquidity planning. So that'll be coming up this year. I was saving it for the end. But yeah, stay close because there's a few big things coming this year like that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. What about dashboards for projects to track their performance?
I mean, there's a lot of tools already out there that have these that offer this. I guess it would be an idea to maybe have our own dashboard for all our clients. I haven't personally discussed this with my team. Maybe there's already talk about it, but not that I'm aware. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, of course, of course. So can you tell us where are there regulatory compliance measures that you guys take into account when engaging with global token projects?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everything we do is complete by the book. We're completely registered. We have all the what are they called? Licenses, or something like that. That we're meant to have, and yeah, everything we do is the way it should be done. So yeah, completely compliant.
Yeah, that's really great. So can you walk us through, something that you guys have done in the past, like a specific project that you guys have helped from the token launch down to the scaling, volume, and liquidity, and how has this impacted? How have you guys, PUMPLABS impacted into the project?
I mean, I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if you were on the voice or not. One of the projects I can mention is 𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗜𝗚𝗟𝗦, and the other one is 𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗜𝗏. And with 𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗏, I mean, we took it to literally 850 million market cap, purely through our support. So I think in the way we help them, that's it speaks for itself on just the pure scale of it. And 𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗜𝗏, I mean, the work we've done with them and still do is that they've been able to help them be very, very stable through all this volatility. As you've seen, the market's just been a bit hectic lately, and they're still holding on really, really strong. And we've helped them migrate to new chains, optimize the liquidity, V3 pools. And yeah, the token is very, very healthy. If you compare it to a lot of other tokens, you can see that the effective market making from PUMPLABS is noticeable when you look at all the different metrics.
Yeah, of course.
That answers the question?
Yeah, you did. So, looking at your project, it's a really big one, of really good service to users that are going to be interacting with the project. How do you guys plan on, marketing this project to a bigger audience? Obviously, you are utilizing the use of the AMAs. you're speaking right here in front of an audience. You use social media. What other ways do you guys use to basically get your projects out there and get in more people to use the project?
I mean, I think one of the best ways to do that is, and the way we've been working mostly right now, is through word of mouth and recommendations. There's nothing better that, I mean, we can show you whatever we want, but if someone says to you, oh, I worked with them, they did this, they were amazing, I can vouch for how good it is, I highly recommend if you need this, that's the best way, I think, to get things done sometimes. So we do rely on that a lot. We let our work speak for itself, so to say. So yeah, other than what everyone else does, AMA, social media, campaigns, going to conferences, we're present at most conferences. ETH Denver, Consensus, Token in Singapore, Token in Dubai. So you'll find us everywhere. I guess that's a marketing strategy in itself. We'll have events, we'll have our Lambo parked outside with PUMPLABS. So I guess that kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, of course. There was something you said earlier, word of mouth. I really appreciate, projects that take, word of mouth seriously, because I believe that you're going to have an really organic, active community to, basically push the project forward and get in more people that's going to be passionate about the project. I really appreciate that you guys have this going on for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. So moving on, can you tell us more about the community's involvement in all of this? What ways can they show their support? How have they been showing their support so far? And basically, what's the whole vibe between the dev team and the community? B, I think you're muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can
Sorry
hear you.
I think I forgot what I just said. I think one of the main ways that our community kind of interacts with us is probably through the way that they come on from projects we work with. So there's a bit of onboarding from there. Sometimes we get DMs a lot from individuals. They're really invested in a project and they're like, oh, I think you could help them with this, or it's crazy the kind of DMs you actually get sometimes. And our community, the best way we interact with my community is actually in real life. As I said, we're present quite a lot out of the conferences. So that's a really great way to meet people and, stay in touch, not just through a comment section or through a Telegram group chat. I mean, as you said, we don't have a Telegram channel. We don't really rely on that. Our main audience is projects in itself. Of course, we have our own community, but yeah.
Yeah, of course, that's really great. So can you tell us more about the advice that you have for smaller projects that are coming in? What's the mistakes that you see these kind of projects make regarding the token listings, and how do you help them to avoid these sort of mistakes?
Yeah, one of the biggest the biggest issues that we see with tokens is they plan the launch, they plan what they think is important, they have all this hype, they have everything ready. There's a big pump, it goes up, and then after like a couple of weeks they realize they haven't got a long-term plan. They haven't built a treasury. That's the biggest mistake, not building a treasury. You have to build up your treasury every chance you get. That would be the number one mistake we see. If you don't have a treasury, you're not going to be able to make it back up. Once that valley is over, you're not going to be able to make it through. You're not going to be able to pay your marketing team. You're not going to be able to pay your devs. You're not going to be able to pay your subscriptions or whatever else you have that helps you run your project. You're just not going to have unless you have a backing or some other kind of investment. That's our biggest recommendation, to build a treasury. For any size project, big or small, definitely the number one.
Yeah, of course. That's really great. Can you tell us more about, the challenges that you guys have faced, obviously, becoming this big and reaching this size? Obviously, there have been a little bit of challenges for every project. Can you tell us how you've tackled these challenges and, be able to scale through them and become the project that you are today?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge with market making in general is sometimes there tends to be a bit of a stigma. As I said, there's been certain projects in the past, so certain market makers, that I've kind of given market making in general a bit of a bad reputation, either in the way that they do their business model, or the way that they handle projects, whether it's like a long-term involvement or short-term, and what their best interest is with the project or just their own. So one of the biggest challenges is kind of overcoming that stigma and getting projects to see that you're transparent and they can trust you, and building a good reputation and overcoming that barrier, which hasn't been hard. I mean, we've done it, but that's what I guess would be a challenge. Was a challenge to start with. The same way you have like good projects and bad projects, and sometimes there's like scams or rugs and all this. It's the same in the world of market makers. Some market makers do their job really well, and some don't, and the ones that don't kind of harm the others. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it did. Thank you so much for that. So I think we can take some questions from the community, but before that, do you think that there's any aspect or topic concerning the project that we didn't talk about, or maybe you just want to touch on a little bit before we take some questions?
I think you asked me a lot of questions, pretty good questions. I think I've covered everything, but if I have to cover anything again, I would say our DMs are always open. That sounds like a closing, but our DMs are always open. And we welcome anyone who has any questions. If you want to hop on a call, if you have a project, if you want some, advice, if you want to see how we could help you, then we're always happy to help. And if anyone's going to be in Dubai for Token, we look forward to seeing you there. I'll leave the floor open to questions now, if there are any.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Guys, like I always say before, obviously we can't cover everything in the AMA. It's just a little appetizer. Obviously you get all the information you need firsthand from the PUMPLABS community, from B and other admins right there. Yeah, so I see some hands. Let's take Ramsey. Ramsey, please go ahead with your questions. And yeah, your mic is unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, hello everybody.
Hi, Ramsey.
Okay.
Hi.
My question is, how does PUMPLABS plan to scale its services across newer chains or ecosystems? And what impact could this expansion have on early supporters and token value?
I mean, there's no impact to be had on early supporters. Each project we help is individual and different, and everyone in those communities has something to gain from our assistance with the project. And on the part of how do we plan to scale, I guess just trying to do it as organically as possible. As we said, word of mouth. We are trying to grow this year. That's our big plan. There are a few things coming up, but you'll have to stay tuned to see those come up. Probably announced on X. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question, Ramsey. It was brief and straight to the point. Yeah. Let's take someone else. Annabelle. Annabelle, your mic is unmuted. Please go ahead with your question.
Hi, B.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so my question is, do you offer tokenomics advisory or model simulations as part of your services?
Yes, we can offer whatever is required by the project. Some projects only want certain things, but there is nothing that we're not capable of doing. Sounds a bit cheesy, but yeah, we have a very, very wide range of services. I only covered a few earlier. If you go on our website or if you DM us, we can always give you guys more information, especially if it's regarding a potential project.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, sorry. Was my mic unmuted?
It was on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you for the question, Annabelle. Let's take Favor. Favor, please go ahead with your question. Your mic has been unmuted.
I don't know if it's my Telegram, but I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I thought that was just me. I thought that was just me. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's take Benova. Benova, your mic is unmuted. Go ahead with your questions, please.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, B. Let me just go straight to my question. I only have one question. I went through the website, through your website, and you guys have a wonderful interface there. But my question is about the, roadmap. I saw that you had no roadmap to, potentially tell the investor who will be investing into the project your next step, where you're going, your future plans, and the rest of them. So what are your future? My question to you now is, what are your future plans? What are you planning for the future, so that the investors who will be investing into your project will, likely know what are your future plans and be able to follow up with it.
Right. I mean, we're not. There's nothing. We don't have a token of our own for anyone to invest in for the time being, anyway. I don't think that's on the roadmap anyway. What we do offer is help to other projects to manage their treasury, manage their liquidity, optimize their charts, optimize their volume, fix their whole distribution, and all of the above. So what we do is we work on the charts, basically, for different projects. That's why you won't see a roadmap of our own. But our internal roadmap, so to say, is that I mentioned this earlier, we are planning to launch a public tool that will help more projects in the way that market makers do, but more transparently, and help communities themselves track on-chain market health. So that's one thing coming up this year. And other than that, it's just scaling. onboarding more projects, and growing our team. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I ask one more question, Jeff?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. What are your marketing plans also for the project?
I did mention this again earlier. Marketing plans. Most of our marketing, I said, we do in person. Well, not in person, but besides the usual, our X page, our website, we do rely on word of mouth a lot. We're gonna probably open up a few more social media pages in the near future, and we do hold in real life events at conferences such as Consensus and Token 2049 in Dubai coming up at the end of this month. And we were in Denver for Ethereum as well. So those kind of things, that's a pretty good marketing to get to know people and actually build relationships with them, and they get to know you, they get to know what you do better.
Okay, thank you, Bay, for answering my question. Thank you, Jeff, for the opportunity. Thank you very much, and good luck to your project.
Thank you so much, Benova, for the questions. We really appreciate you. Let's take Sophia. Your mic has been unmuted, Sophia. You can go ahead with your question. Sophia, you can just go ahead, tap the button and speak.
Hi, I can hear me. Okay.
Hi.
Before I start, I just wanted to quickly compliment B. You're really, really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, can you say that again? I think you just cut out a second. All I heard is beautiful.
I said you're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought I did. I was like, did I hear that? Thank you very much.
So my question is concerning the security measures. Like, what security measures have you guys put in place to protect funds and then operations on PUMPLABS, and has there been audits conducted?
I mean, all that stuff is different for market makers. It's not the same as with a general project. We're not holding the community's funds. The tokens we manage are from the team itself. It's a very different structure security-wise, which I can't go into very, very many details here. But everything we do is secure, and there's contracts, and there's like legal bindings to everything. So all safe.
And concerning the blockchain, what blockchain network does PUMPLAB currently support, and are there like plans to expand?
Yeah, we're pretty much across all EVM chains. Solana, I said Arbitrum, Sonic, Base, Aptos, that I can think off the top of my head. And yeah, we're always looking at expanding. We're always welcoming new tokens and new blockchains. We can work with the ecosystem itself, or we can help tokens get across multiple chains if that's what they're looking to do.
Okay, that's really nice. Nice project. Well done. I wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What's happening?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know what, something to like fireworks, or was that just me seeing that?
Oh, I didn't notice that. Thank you so much, Sophia, for the questions. Yeah, so let's take someone else. Let's take Matteo. I do hope I pronounced that right. Matteo Pierre. Go ahead with your questions. Your mic has been unmuted, buddy. Hey, Matteo, You can just go ahead with your questions, buddy.
Hey, hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Jeff, for the opportunity to speak. I'm really, really grateful. So Bia, I just have a very quick question to ask, which I'm also curious about. So my question here is, every project presents its project strengths, but I admire people who know their weaknesses more. So my question here is, what do you think is the current project weaknesses are, and how do you guys plan to deal with it all?
Oh, I don't think we have any weaknesses at the moment. Maybe the only weakness could be, I don't know, not being well known enough, um, or not having a big enough team to take on all the projects that we come across, which we're looking at expanding, and we're currently growing and expanding our team. So that's kind of already been resolved. Other than that, I mean, there's always room for improvement. We're always looking at new algorithms, trying to improve our bots and our proprietary tools. So yeah, we're always looking at how to increase our efficiency for projects.
Oh, okay, man. That sounds good. That sounds good. And yeah, it shows that you guys know what you're doing. So yeah, thanks, Jeff, for the opportunity to speak.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Thank you for the questions. Guys, please do make sure to join the community to, get in touch with them. I've said this before, I can't stress enough on this. Yeah, so let's take someone else. I think we still have a bit of time. Let's take someone else. Let's take Kelvin. Kelvin, your mic is unmuted. You can go ahead with your questions, buddy.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Kelvin, I don't know, you might want to raise your voice a little bit, or is it just me?
Hope I'm being heard.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks very much for the opportunity to speak. I must say this is a wonderful project. And just basically let me jump on to my question. I just wanted to know if you guys can just walk us through how PumpLabs treasury management service, directly benefit token holders and long-term investors, something like that. Just walk us through that.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the project that we're working with, whether it's I don't know, like a meme coin like Pepe, Brett, Klaus, I don't know, Shiba, whatever token you want to take as an example, any of these. If we were helping to build their treasury by having a more stable treasury, it means that we're helping them plan. The treasury planning is aligned with market conditions and the project objectives, and it kind of ensures that it's going to do well for longer. It's going to have it's going to be a healthier project in the long run. It's not going to be hit by volatility as much. There's not going to be as much, let's say, like pressure points for like traders. I'm not sure how to explain this better. It basically just means that there's. I'm just gonna leave it at that actually, because I'm starting to ramble on right now. But it depends on the project that we're helping. It's not our own treasury that we're trying to optimize. It's for individual projects, and however, if you're invested in this project or not, depends on if you benefit from the treasury.
Yeah, thank you very much. You did answer my question in detail, I must say. And so, yeah, thank you. I wish you guys best of luck in whatever you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kelvin, for the questions. Yeah, so let's take Favor. I think You were bugging out earlier before, but yeah, you have a chance now to ask a question. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, hello. My question is, can you walk us through how PUMPLABS treasury management services directly benefit securities holders and long-term investors?
I
Yeah,
think
that's my question.
yeah, I think that someone asked a similar question just before this. The way it benefits is, as I said, for the individual projects and their holders, it just makes it more sustainable and improves its long-term health. And it means that the project is able to run smoothly in the long run. It's able to cover different costs, like I mentioned, their developers, their marketing, all of that. So it just, I mean, in one word, I guess it just means it's going to run for longer. It's going to, survive cycles and do well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for the questions, Favor. Yeah, so let's take Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I believe your mic has been unmuted. Please go ahead with your questions, buddy.
Yeah, just wanted to ask, what's the revenue model for PUMPLABS, and how does it align incentive between the team, project partners, and token holders? I hope you got my question.
I did get your question. I don't think I didn't explain very well at the start, because everyone, we don't have our own token or our own, there's nothing you can invest in directly with us. All we do is help other projects improve their market health and their token. There's no revenue that you can directly be concerned about from us, if that makes sense. We're kind of like doctors, like on-chain doctors for various projects. So we'll help projects do better, but there's, you can invest in those projects themselves, but there's, on our end, we don't offer you anything to directly invest in.
Okay, thanks so much for answering my question.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for the questions, Jeremiah. I think we're just gonna take last hand, Kanuri. Kanuri, your mic has been unmuted. I think you're gonna be the last person today, so just yeah. Go ahead.
All right, thank you for having me to ask my question. I've been up, my hands have been up for a couple of minutes. All right,
sorry,
that was a great presentation from you. However, I have a few things in mind that I do believe I should ask you. First, I must salute your courage being a female, and you could took a bold step, in exploring the market making, having a market making niche for yourself in this place. That's very much proud. I'm proud of seeing you doing this. All right. And so currently now, I want to know, because again, I'm pretty much interested in working with you. So currently now, how many projects have you been able to help for market making, and what is the profit margin like, or what is the success rate like for those projects you're currently working with?
Right. So right now, this month, I can say about March, we're already working with 4 different projects, and we had 2 new additions during March, so that will bring it up to 6. And then beginning of April, end of March, we got 1 more project, so that'll be 7 in total. And the profit margins, there's a lot of profit to be made from arbitrage. So, but that's for the projects themselves. Between centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges between DEXs and DEXs, cross-chain across multiple chains, as arbitrage should be done in all directions. So pretty big profit margins made from there. The numbers like depend so much on on the market cap, on lots of things. But yeah, we can, if you're looking to work together, we can definitely discuss that. Do DM me and I can give you more details.
All right, thank you very much. So that's pretty good to know this and hear from you, as it were. So my next question is, having seen that you don't have intention of perhaps in the future running.
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
Yo, Canary, you still there? I think we lost him.
I'll send him a DM and find out what the other question was.
Sorry, I got caught away.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
really sorry about that. Sometimes TG could be very. So sorry about that. So what I was trying to communicate to you earlier was saying that you didn't really have plans launching a token of your own at this moment, at this very point in time. Question one would be, do you have plans in the future for that? However, number two is that for transparency purpose, for those I believe you are able to work with other expertise within the industry, as it were, for those that are working with you, that are partnering with you, what could be the terms of partnership for liquidity, for providing liquidity to you, as it were? I believe the vision will grow bigger and bigger and bigger. More liquidity will be needed in expansion and extending to other bigger projects. So for people who have prospects to pour in liquidity into what you are building, what is the terms for partnership and profit sharing, or when we come into partnership, what are the benefits in view in partnering together?
Well, first question, if I remember, because I was paying attention to your second one. Your first question, can you repeat your first question again? Sorry.
All right, my question is
token, about the token. Right.
Saying right now you don't have plan to launch a token, would you consider that in the future?
Probably not. Probably not. I mean, that would probably be a separate project. It wouldn't be part of PUMPLABS. I mean, I've worked for many other projects before this where they did launch tokens, but I don't think that's in the books right now. And to answer your second question, there's a lot of benefits of working with us and partnering up with us. We also do like referral programs. So for people that bring us tokens that we end up signing, or projects that we end up signing, there's always revenue share for them, or a percentage of profits that they gain for their referral of the project that we end up signing, if it's successful, of course. If we successfully start working with them, I mean. So that would be one way as individuals to work with us.
So for everybody listening to you right now, you mean you have a referral system for anybody that brings in a project for you to fund for market making, right?
To market, yeah. I mean, it has certain metrics, but that can be discussed. Yeah.
All right. So our last question: do you have an affiliate with Pump.Fund? Because again, I see Pump Lab. So maybe I was thinking maybe you have a partnership with Pump.Fund.
No, we don't. It's just coincidence names, let's say.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you very much for having me on the VC, and I thank you very much for your intelligent response. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Thank you for your questions. I think we're almost at the end now. Thank you for having me on here, Jeff and Liam. It's been great to be on here. I don't know if Jeff's still here. Can you still hear me?
Thank you so much for the questions, Kanuri. Sorry about that. I think Telegram is bugging me out again. But yeah, that's really great questions from you, Kanuri. Really appreciate it. And B, really appreciate you making the time out here to come and tell us more about your projects, what you guys are building, your awesome project. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on here, and thank you to everyone for joining. Do give me a follow on X. My username is the same as on here, be on chain. And yeah, our DM's always open. You can also go on our website and get in contact with us over there. So thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from some of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
The giveaway, I forgot to mention that. I don't know, you guys handle that separately, I think. Or how does that work? Yeah,
of course. After the AMA, we're going to compile, the list of the best questions and, DM the winners privately in the DMs.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. All right. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to whoever wins.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks to the awesome community who turned out here today. We really appreciate you guys. Until next time, guys, stay safe and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.